Hey guys, what's up? I want to do a disassembly of the Lancaster AK47, the L47 MSS. Let me put on some gloves because this gun's pretty well oiled up. So let me do that real quick. We're going to do the basic field strip here. Everything you would need without tools. Besides the bullet button, you actually do need a screwdriver. So that's the only thing we'll be doing. It's also necessary to know that that your firearm is unloaded before you do anything to it. Put anything on it or just even handle it if you have no intention to shoot it, especially indoors. So here, this is a 10-30 magazine that we're taking off. Move that out of the way. Alright, so we're going to begin by taking off the dust cover by depressing down on this button right here. And let me put this dirty rag here. This is going to hold all of our oiled up parts. Alright, so push down like this and then rock the cover and it'll come off just like that. No springs are going to pop out like on the FN49. You got to be kind of careful. When you do that, it's easier for the spring to pop out on that gun, but here it's not because there's a notch back here to where the spring is attached to this unit right here, so you can rock it forward like that. So let's see if you can see this right here. You can see the notch in there, and then it just rocks forward like that. So to remove that, just push forward until it starts moving around and you pull this straight out like that. And that's your spring. Pretty long spring. And that's the plus with this gun, is all the recoiling is contained within the receiver. It doesn't go into the stock like on an AR or an FN FAL L1A1. Next step is to pull your bolt and piston assembly, which are one, and your bolt carrier and piston assembly are one unit. So pull back. Pull all the way to the back here, and then it'll come out and just lift it just a little bit and then rotate to the side. I find it easier if you rotate it to the side so it doesn't hit the back of the receiver here, and then you pull it out once it clears. And this is your bolt right here, your bolt carrier, and here's the piston. I'll show you the gas tube where the piston sits and how it works. And it just goes back to the carrier, and this is your bolt right here. And so you can just take this out by twisting it. See those notches in there? It just twists right there like that. And you pull it out. You can see the tooling in there. Set this to the side. And here's your bolt. And that's the firing pin right there. Alright, so you can set that to the side. Now you basically got out all the moving internal parts in here, with the exception of the trigger, in which the trigger is actually pretty simple as well. So you can see let's see if I want to put it on fire now so we can show you guys the trigger moving here. So you can see the trigger hammer is going to be released by those two claws on both sides, and then it just swings all the way forward. If you notice, the spring in here is not actually a spring, it's a couple of wires twisted around, just twisted around like a braid, and they're just they wrap around the hammer and they go back here into the back, and you see them right over there. See that? So they wrap all the way back, and they provide a lot of tension. And you just reset the hammer like that. Though we don't recommend you do that because you can mess up the machining in here, so you probably don't want to do that. All right, now your next step is to pull off the gas tube. Okay, here on this side, you have that switch right there. Well, not really a switch, just a lever. So you push the lever. I have the gun upside down, so you push the lever down. It's a little hard. Okay, once you clear it. From that dimple, once you clear the block here, the sight block, you bring it here And you notice it's still not going to clear the gas tube. So you got to pull the lever up. Did you see that? See that? It goes just like that. And there, it's vertical in there now. And now this lifts straight out. Okay? So here's your gas tube. And it's just like that. And here's it is from the back. So the piston rides in here. It's very loose because it doesn't need to be super tight. It's not like it's firing a bullet or anything. It's just enough to get enough gas to push this piston back so your assembly can recoil and cycle the action. So that's a gas tube, and here's actually like what you'd see on an AR. This is the gas block. Let's see if I can show you guys what's in there. Let me get a flashlight here real quick. Let's see if this blue-white flashlight will show up. Now you can see the port hole in there. See that all the way at the end? A little bit hard to see. Yeah, but that is the front gas block for the AK47. So now you're pretty much, this is done here, field stripping. That's exactly what it'll look like. Just like that once you get off everything. Okay, and then from here, you clean this pocket out. Really nice thing about this is you can clean right into the gas block, and so it's not gunked up or anything. And then you can also clean this out very easily, like probably with a shotgun bore brush. That'll take care of that. Then you scrub this down, get all this carbon residue off. Go back here, clean this off with all your unburnt powder or just regular carbon that's just going to accumulate there. And then you put everything back together and you're ready to go. So put this back together. We'll start with the front, just in reverse order. We'll start with the gas tube. Okay, and you see that how it's kind of recessed here? See that notch, that little block up there? Okay, your gas tube is going to go like that, and it's not going to go any more forward than it needs to. Okay, so you're going to try to put it, but it's not going to go down because you got to make sure this lever is still rotated in the vertical position. All right, then you just put it in. Let me get this two hands here. There we go. And it just drops in. See that? Just drops in like that. And you lock it in place by sliding the lever there, and then with both hands probably, and you go all the way. Some of them are a little harder to move this up and down because this is a newer gun and it's more modern. This one's easier to do. So you may experience some trouble. So just be patient. Don't use any tools. You shouldn't be using any tools. You could scratch up your gun, and if you care about having a scratch gun, then you'll be hurting. So okay, so then you put in the bolt, all is one piston, or sorry, the bolt back into your carrier. Okay, and like I was showing you that notch, so it drops down. See that? That's going to go right into its niche right there, and it's going to go up and down. So you want to keep it on the forward position. Okay, you take your rifle, and again you can rotate it to the side like I did, so it's easy. And then put it in, and rotate it this way. Then once you get to the back, set it down, push down a little bit. And the reason you got to push down is, see, it's like kind of springy. That's the hammer that's in the way. Okay, so the hammer is doing that. So you push down, you go forward, and you jam it forward just like that. Should be very easy. Just again, should be really easy. Then you got to put your recoiling spring in. Just slide it back in its pocket. And then here, for the notch in the back, let me get some light here. That focused in. All right. So you push this forward, and it drops down. Goes where it needs to go. As a matter of fact, you can fire the gun in this position just like this. You can fire it. You may get some oil coming back out, but you'll be able to see the action actually working. You know, it'll be just cycling just like that. Then here, your last step is to put on the dust cover. Okay, you put it back in the notch up in the front. Right there, there's a notch right in there. And you put that dust cover in, and then make sure it's pushed forward. Then with one hand here, you can push that back, and it's going to look like this, okay? And then you just push forward and push all the way forward, and it drops down into its position, and this button's going to pop back out to where it needs to be. Okay, so that's it. And then you check your work, make sure it's functioning. Go ahead and fire the trigger. Check that. Some people don't like to fire the trigger on their guns. It's totally up to you. From people I've talked to, they said that it doesn't really affect it. So if you do care about things like that, or if you feel like that makes a difference, then get a snap caps. They have snap caps you can put in there, and you can dry fire your weapon. Sometimes I put in an empty shell, and that helps. On certain guns I don't do it because I heard it doesn't make a difference. So it doesn't really hurt anything. So that's totally up to you. Alright, so that's the full disassembly, like with a walkthrough, but now I'm going to try to do it all on my own pretty fast, as fast as I can go. I don't really have a lot of background in this gun because it's not my choice, it was my brother's choice, so I'm going to do it as fast as I can. So that's as fast as I can go. As you can tell, the disassembly on this gun is really fast. That's what gains this gun its popularity amongst all battle rifles, because of its ease of disassembly. I mean, you can see how easy this is, just like one step, two step, three, you already have the gun completely disassembled. So that's why it's so easy to train someone how to use this rifle, and it's really simple inside. So that's the full disassembly. And my disassembly is as fast as I can go. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I got it going the wrong way. Let go of this. All right, there we go. So that's a Lancaster AK47, L47. Disassembly field strip. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later.